time I hear you whisper to me that you never would leave me be. I can feel my body echoing for you now.
Do you know what you do to me? It's like a fantasy, I wanna never leave. But isn't it a little funny that you're the one controlling me?
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Seduce Me. I still get the aftermath of a cold, but don't worry, I got cough drops, which I'm going to pop one in right now. Before we even start anything. If I can get them open! There we go. And I also got tissues, so we'll be fine. Oh, I thought some stuff here right now. March forward, says the cough drop. A pep talk in every drop. I'm not advertising, I promise. Alright, now. Oh, crap. We were continuing on with Diana. Yeah, root Diana. Did my phone just go off? I don't even know anymore. Where's my phone? I don't even know anymore. Okay, there it is. Alright. Let's replay her line again. No. Okay, fine. Glitch. See if I care.
You are an interesting creature.
Can I just say these cough drops taste amazing? Creamy strawberry. Holy shit. I open my eyes to see a woman staring down at me with a very sly smirk on her face. Open my mouth to scream in fright, but a hand quickly covered my mouth.
No screaming now. Too early, silly girl.
I could only stare up at the woman above me. I still felt weak, not having the strength to move and fight her off. What was going on? Why was she here?
Why do the boys like you? You're unique, yes, but that can't be all that you
So
have
fucking
going
sick
for
of you! Rage began to consume my core again. This woman, whoever she was making me mad. She must have known, as she let another smirk grow on her face.
Ooh, you're feisty. That could be why.
Before I could bite her hand in anger, she removed her hand from my lips, standing up and staring down at me from her place next to my bed. I quickly sat up and glared daggers at the intruder. She was very beautiful, but I felt more anger than amazement. Who the hell are you? Why are you in my room? The woman began to laugh, making the rage inside me increase. I wanted to punch her, but I waited for her answer.
How silly of me. I forgot that we demons are not well known of in your world. You can call me Diana, little human.
Diana. Demon? You're a demon?
I
I
am,
would have guessed.
but I'm much more than just an average demon.
What do you mean?
Silly girl. I'm a succubus.
I stare at Diana in shock. A succubus? First incubi and now a succubus? Great! I had met both genders of sex demons. Diana crossed her arms under her bosom and looked at my body.
Well, you are pretty.
Why is it skipping? I just realized my frame for Bandicam is not totally full. There we go. Where it should be.
A goody little two-shoes, aren't you?
I moved out and stood from the bed, still glaring at Diana. Why are you here?
Oh, I just wanted to see who my competition was.
Competition.
For the boys, of course. They don't belong here, and yet here they remain. I want to know why, and remedy this little issue.
Sorry, got constant sniffling. The girl was seriously pissing me off. Issue? What issue? They want to stay here so they can.
Silly, uneducated human. You don't understand the important roles these boys play in the abyssal planes. You keeping them here is practically imprisonment.
Jesus. You have about 10 seconds to leave.
Is that a threat? How cute. What are you going to do? Kill me?
And if I do...
You barely have the strength to stand, little human. I can rip the rest of your energy out and knock you into a coma. You'll never be able to wake up again.
Touch me and I'll
Enjoy every minute of it.
felt my body freeze and heat up to almost a painful haze. My mind began to feel fuzzy as Diana stepped to me and caressed my cheek.
Now, you're going to listen to everything I say without any questions. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I plan to bring the boys back to the Abyssal Plains. Why? So that I can take
Jake,
my
stop,
place as
sorry.
queen of their realm. They have no reason to be here in this silly little world, so I'm going to make sure they return home. Okay, Pumpkin?
I was moving my drawing tablet and there we go. I nodded but growled. My rage couldn't be concealed despite the hold I was under. You evil bitch!
Call me evil all you want, dearie. I'm not evil. You're just in my way.
I know some of you saying just like, blow your nose, May! But I fucking can't because it doesn't work. It's sad. It really is sad. I felt Diana lean to my ear and whisper, making me unconsciously shiver in both pleasure and annoyance.
Now, be a good little human and go to bed. I'll make sure they're gone before you get home tomorrow from school, so make sure to say goodbye in the morning.
I felt my body move on its own to lay in bed and cover itself with my sheets. Bed sheets. Not just sheets. Not just any sheets. They are bed sheets. I glared at Diana the entire way down. Diana laughed at my futility. I'll get you!
Oh, please do.
Una momenta. Okay. Hopefully that did it. My nose is still stuffy, but what the fuck ever. All of a sudden, her voice deepened and became cold and demonic, sending a violent scared shiver down my spine. Her red eyes practically illuminated in the darkness of my room as she glared at me.
Give me a reason to make your life a living hell.
You already are! I gritted my teeth, trying to fight back against the hold on me. She couldn't have been that tough. She needed energy to survive, right? I wasn't sure what she... I was sure she couldn't have enough to hold me down forever. Diana then laughed and returned to normal.
Oh, and make sure you don't tell the boys I was here. I want my visit to be a surprise.
I felt the hold on me disappear, allowing me to sit up and practically growl at Diana in rage. What's stopping me?
And you must not care about your friends and family as much as you care for the boys.
I stopped and stared. What did she mean by that? Was that a threat to my family? Diana smirked at me, knowing the confusion behind my eyes.
Let's just say that if you tell the boys about me, I'll make sure that no one will care for you, and you'll be all alone in this little house until the day you die.
I could feel fear creeping into me. Alone? How could she do that? The word demon reverberated in my head, reminding me that I was facing off against something supernatural. A human with a shield versus a devil was one thing. A human on her own versus a demon was another.
Have a good night.
I will, you little bitch! Oh, what's wrong with me? And with that, Diana sank to the floor through a magic purple pentagram, which disappeared as her head vanished into the floor. I couldn't believe it. I had one problem, now I had another. Instead of a crazy psycho devil who wanted to kill me and the boys, I had a succubus wanting to ruin my life and take the boys away. Could my life get any worse? Get a cold. I couldn't let her win. Sorry, I skipped that. She was not as powerful as she looks, I know it. I had to mentally confirm it. She wasn't going to win. The boys wanted to stay with me. I let out a sigh before closing my eyes, affirming my plan of action. No matter what she was going to do, I was going to do better. I was going to beat her. The fuck did that say? Eventually the morning arrived and the sun screamed at me to get up. Surprisingly, I woke up before my alarm clock once again, which was nice. I stretched out and quickly got dressed, getting ready for school. She expects me to say goodbye to the boys. I will say good morning, and I will see them when I come back. No way I'm going to say goodbye. Blah. I scooped up my bag and headed downstairs to the dining room. Seeing the boys already eating a delicious selection of food, the smell made my stomach growl widely at the sight of food. Drew me to walk further into the room.
Good morning, miss. Did you sleep well?
No. Before I could lie, hiding the incident in the back of my mind, Damien. Damn it, Damien! Furrowed his eyebrows and stopped eating.
She's here.
No. Stuff your face with a sausage, Damien. The boys looked at Damien in confusion while I cursed his ability silently in my mouth.
Damien, what's up with you? Of course she's here. She kind of owns the house.
See? Yeah. I'm supposed to be here. Damien looked at me, wanted to explain for him. However, the threats that Diana gave me last night warned me to keep my mouth shut. I'll just tell. Thank you. Damien pressed his lips together into a fine line. The boys looked at me with raised eyebrows. A girl named Diana came by last night.
Diana? Is she important?
Just a bit.
Did she try to hurt you?
Just a bit. She's a succubus. The single word made the boys stop and stare at me. I looked at each boy unsure of what was going through their minds. Should I have avoided it?
So, she's come to try and bring us back.
She must really be desperate.
Well, what should we do now?
Nothing. She'll give up eventually.
Will she?
The boys continued to look at me as if I knew the answer to that question. Damn it, Damien! She said that if I told you, she'd make my life a living hell. She can't possibly do that, right? She's not a devil.
No, she isn't. However, she is a very powerful demon.
She's a master of mind manipulation and has been trained in illusion. Unlike other demons who use strength to get power, she uses her charisma.
She has the power to make armies bow to her and obey her every whim. That's why she's so obsessed with us.
What? What do you mean?
Well, she sort of has family ties to us. She was promised to marry one of us in exchange for more power.
She's just some whacked up hussy who doesn't know how to close her legs. She's not a real threat.
Love it!
Oh, really? I feel insulted.
Matthew, just fucking terrified. The sight of marriage just scares the crap out of that boy. The boys and I looked around the room wondering where the voice came from. I felt a cold sweat run down the back of my neck in fear, remembering what kind of power she had. At last we saw Diana by the entrance of the kitchen, juggling a single red apple in her hand as she leaned against the archway. The boys quickly surrounded me, glaring at the intruder.
So, you took up a human name as well.
Beautiful name, isn't it? Well, for a human name, anyway.
Yeah, it kind of suits your bitchy form.
What the hell do you want?
No offense to any Dianas out there. I have an aunt named Diane, if that counts for anything. It's just... Moving on!
To bring you back, of course. However, you weren't supposed to know that I was coming. I completely forgot about that little mind-reading ability. My mistake.
Diana pushed off from the archway and walked towards us, making the boy step closer to me in protective circle. Diana laughed.
My. What has the world come to? A group of demons protecting a human girl? I'll tell you right now, she's not that pretty. And from what I can tell, she's still a virgin.
That's not a bad thing! Unlike you, you fucking slut! My face grew red in complete anger and embarrassment. How dare she! Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! I stepped up, gently pushing the boys away to be face to face with Diana. I was furious and she was about to feel my wrath. You are in my house! You are an intruder and you have no power here!
Oh, really? Do I have to remind you of the power I have, dear?
With a snap of her fingers, Matthew and James switched places! My mind suddenly locked up and I felt blank. I could see the world around me, but I lost control of my body. The boys quickly reformed around me, with James gripping on Diana's wrist in anger.
You will leave this instant.
Or what? You'll kill me? I completely dare you to.
Damien's terrified right now. He's like, oh no!
Let me do it. I could use the workout.
Don't.
The boys looked to Damien while Diana smirked at my blank stare. I wanted to fight this hold, but her power held me down.
And why not?
She wants us to kill her. If she dies, then civil war starts in the demon world.
Again! It doesn't matter if she's dead or not! There's gonna be a war anyway if you don't go back, so what does it matter?
Very good, sweetie.
What happens in the demon world doesn't concern us anymore.
The demons will come to the human world and hunt us down before attacking each other.
If they could do that in the first place, why didn't they to come get you back? I swear to God. There's a big, just plot hole right there. Why didn't they in the first place if they're so important? Jesus. The demons will come to the human world all because of her.
You sneaky bitch.
With another snap of Diana's fingers, I was released from her hold, almost buckling to my knees.
Well, will you all change your minds? I assure you, it's for the greater good.
I expected the boys to say no, but here was complete silence. None of the boys replied to Diana, which made me both nervous and fearful as to why. Diana leaned her head back a bit, surprised for a different reason.
No. Well, I see.
Was silence truly them saying no to her? I looked around at the boys and saw disobedience in their eyes, giving me my answer. I felt my heart flutter, especially when my eyes landed on Damien. He kept close to me, glaring daggers into Diana. I could feel that he was completely adamant in his choice to stay. I don't know what, but I was incredibly happy to know he wanted to stay. Diana sighed and pressed a finger to her temple, rubbing it gently.
Either all of you are playing a very convincing hard-to-get game, or you all must be out of your minds.
Diana then looked at me, locking her gaze with mine as if to read me. I could tell she wanted me to do something, but the boys would stop her, so the stare was her only available action. After a small moment of silence, Diana licked her lips before breaking the gaze battle and smiling to the boys around me.
Very well. I guess I'll take my leave now.
What? Her leave? Was she serious? The boys around me straightened up and grew confused looks on their faces as Diana stepped back away from us. Not just me, it's not all about me. With a small bow, flaunting her cleavage. Without another word, a deep purple pentagram appeared under her feet, and Diana's body slowly sank into the floor. As her head vanished into the floor, the pentagram vanished. At once, the boys relaxed and slowly began to return to their spots at the table, each in deep thought.
She'll be back.
Get the fuck
But she
out.
won't kill us.
Get out.
She needs us alive.
Whatever. We'll just keep saying no. She can't force us to come back.
She can't do anything but annoy us. Eventually, she'll give up.
That's the hope, anyway.
Hopefully. Damien walked over to me and stood before me, looking at me with concern.
We'll protect you. Don't worry.
I can protect myself. I know Taekwondo! Somebody hit me for that. I nodded, feeling that he was telling the truth, or at least a hopeful and comforting thought. Damien gently took my hand in his and brought it up to kiss my knuckles. Aw, you're so... What's the word I'm looking for? Not gentlemanly, I don't know. You're so sweet? However, making me blush to forget what I was thinking about. A sound of collective chuckles and playful snickers whispered through the air, making me blush even more, but Damien sighed and cleared his throat, making laughter stop. I looked up to see he was glaring at his brothers with his lips on my hand. Y'all gotta shut the fuck up. He and I pulled away from each other just as the sound of Naomi's car appeared. I quickly ate my food, waved to the boys, and left, confident that nothing was going to happen. Never, ever say that nothing will happen before the day's over. Nothing. I avoided talking about the ride back home yesterday, saying that the ride was a one-time thing. I'll be riding with you guys from now on, to and from school. The girls seemed very happy. We entered the school quickly, gathered our things from our lockers, and headed to class. There were no events to our surprise. History wasn't exactly fun, but our teacher was great. At least he would have been great if he was in class today. Naomi and Suzu took their seats around me, Suzu in front of me, Naomi beside me. Before the class bell rang, the class was greeted by the dean.
Students,
Ugh!
you'll be having a substitute for class today. Everyone meet.
Imagine if that voice was your teacher giving lectures every day. Just imagine that for a second. You'd probably be asleep.
Miss Diana.
Fuck me. No, Max was more entertaining. You know why? Because he had this crazy side to him, which was great. My heart stopped at the door with the dean. Every time that line comes up, was Diana looking over at the students and smirking as her eyes landed on me. She strutted the teacher's desk, ignoring or welcoming the whisper from the other students before sitting on the wood and crossing her legs. So
Thank you,
fucking
Dean.
splinter.
You can go now.
With a wave of Diana's hand, the dean left the classroom, closed the door, and left the area. Diana smiled at us, making my stomach turn. What was she going to do?
So, history. History. Such a silly thing, isn't it? I mean, what do we care about the past? We're in the present.
Preach it, woman! Preach it! The rest of the class, including Naomi and Suzu, hesitantly nodded in agreement, unsure about the new teacher. but willing to listen more of what she had to say.
The present is so full of wonderful things. While the labors of the past are the reason we have many things, it is our chance and privilege to utilize what has been given to us.
Her charm was almost infectious. The cups was practically starting to eat out of her hand. I looked around to see classmates grinning and agreeing with Diana. I pressed my lips together as I listened further. I had no choice.
What's even funnier about human beings is that some of the bits of history we hear is either made up or completely biased to one side. It's like a story you read as a child. You hear of the princess and the prince, and they live happily ever after. But what about the family she left behind? What of her friends?
The students listened and agreed intently to her words. I could tell, however, that those words were all targeted at me.
The original story of The Little Mermaid. A perfect example of biased opinion.
Calm down there, Diana.
Here we have a girl who thinks she can be with this prince, but this prince has to marry a princess. What would happen if the mermaid had her way? What makes the mermaid so important that the princess has to suffer the consequences?
It doesn't matter what happens to the princess. Bitch! That said, bitch! The rest of the class turned their heads to me. Damien and Suzu looked at me with an equally surprised looks. I kept my eyes to Diana. If I was the mermaid, I wasn't going to let the princess take my prince away. Diana stared at me before smiling and turning her body to fully face me.
Oh? And why does it not matter?
The story isn't about the princess. The story is about the mermaid and the prince.
But that is exactly my point. While the story talks about the mermaid and the prince's romance, we don't see the problems of the kingdom the prince rules. While we are all fixated with this love story, we ignore the fact the kingdom would fall apart without the marriage between the prince and princess.
She kept her eyes to me as she spoke. I knew she wanted to make her words stick in my mind, but I didn't listen. It was one thing to be a fictional story, it was another to try and ruin someone's life for selfishness. Diana chuckled and looked back to the class.
Well, luckily in the real story of The Little Mermaid, the mermaid knows that what she was doing was wrong, and she threw herself into the ocean, turning into sea foam.
Some of the students that surrounded me mumbled in surprise, obviously not knowing the real story. However, Diana was wrong once again. That's not true! That's not true. Once again, the class looked to me. Diana faced me with another smile.
Not true? How so?
The trade-off for becoming a human was marrying the prince or turning into sea foam. However, she was also given the choice to kill the prince and turn back into a mermaid. The mermaid didn't because she loved him and sacrificed herself for that love. That's a story worth telling, not some princess getting her way, but of a tragedy that had befallen a girl who only wanted to love. The class applauded me with Suzu giving me her usual punch to my shoulder and Naomi smiling at my logic. Diana, however, finally grew an almost angered face at me.
Interesting. So what you are saying is that the princess should be given no mind.
The story is not about the princess. The story is about the mermaid, and the mermaid should have gotten her prince.
Even at the risk of the kingdom falling apart?
Even if the entire world fell apart around them, duty does not overrule love, and the princess needs to realize this. The applause that followed and that intensified with whoops and hollers. I felt a wave of confidence roll through my body. Diana wasn't going to win. I wasn't going to let her. Diana then stopped talking and looked to the clock on the wall, reading it quickly. The class had barely begun. Why was she looking at the time? Diana then leaned against the blackboard and smiled to us. I became worried.
You know what? School isn't important.
Woo!
Everyone, go ahead and head home. Take the week off.
Waiting for a teacher to say that all my life. School is not important! No, go to school, kids. You need it. Apparently. The students suddenly began to chat happily or in confusion of the situation. Many thought it was a dream come true. Others knew better. Before anyone could protest, however, Diana pressed a finger to her lips and counted down with her fingers in the air. 3, 2, 1. The speakers of the classroom gently awoke, giving us an announcement we would never believe.
Attention students. Due to an emergency faculty meeting, we will be closing school for the remainder of the day and this entire week. Please leave the school quickly and quietly and have a good rest of the week.
She used her powers on them. Damn it. I felt the need to stop her, but how could I stop a demon in the middle of a public area? Diana smiled before gesturing to the door.
Have a nice week off. School will resume next week.
Many of the students filed out, chatting to each other about new impromptu plans. Susan was beyond happy, but Naomi was hesitant. Before we could pack up and leave, however, Diana stepped to us.
Excuse me, little miss. I'd like you to stay a little while. There's something we need to discuss.
Dana looked to Susan and Naomi. She snapped her fingers, making my friends tense up.
You two can head home. Don't worry about your friend until next week, okay? If you contact her, she won't reply, so don't bother. If she contacts you, ignore her, because she's just fine.
As if on command, Susan and Naomi left the room. I tried to march after them, but Diana stepped in my path, warning me with her eyes that if I followed, there would be hell to pay. I had lost my 2 friends, at least for the week. Diana and I were alone, just like she wanted. I slammed my hands on the desk in front of me and glared at Diana. What are you doing? What do you think you're thinking?
Teacher? I figured
Genius.
you should have a little lesson, so I took matters into my own hands.
Whatever you're trying to do, it won't work.
You really think so, dear? And what makes you so sure about that?
What was making me so sure? Why was I confident? Were the boys worth this? My thoughts began to fill with doubt. All the uncertainties about this whole ordeal began to cloud my mind. If the boys were ever found out, they'd be hell to pay. What? Was it worth it? What about Diana? What would she do to me? Would she make my parents forget about me completely? Would she ruin my friends' lives out of spite? In my gut, I felt a stone of confidence try to fight back, but the heaviness of my thoughts began to dissolve the stone little by little. What was going on with me? I looked up to Diana once again as her gaze boring into my eyes. To see her gaze boring in my eyes. She was using her powers on me. This time, I was away from home, so I couldn't escape. Or could I? Did I want to? The way she stared at me made me feel warm and fuzzy inside my chest. I felt like melting. Diana lifted her a hand under my chin and ran her thumb over my lips, licking her own. I could feel little shots of energy zipping from under my skin into my chin where she held me.
Now, let's have a little taste of that sweet, virginal sexual energy.
Ugh. I watched as she leaned in, ready to kiss me and take my energy. Half of my body felt elation at the idea, the other half completely rejected it and didn't want her to even touch me. Wow. Damien! Damn it, Damien. Suddenly, Diana stopped in her tracks.
Damien? Who is...
Then it dawned on her.
Ah, one of the boys. Why don't you tell me which boy is Damien?
I felt myself nodded in compliance, yeah. What? Wait, what? The youngest? Who? I thought Matthew was the Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Hold on. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure this mystery out. I am so sick of not knowing who is the youngest. Is it Damien? Is it Matthew? I don't fucking know. And it's driving me nuts. So I'm gonna find out. Is it loaded? I can't tell. Update to stay secure. I don't give a flying shit. You know what? No. Who is the youngest? Let's, undo that. Oh my god! Yeah, I was looking up Eric. Shh. In Seduce. In young direction. Oh my god. In one direction, yeah. Seduce me. Oh, Tommy. You answer this question! Sure? I don't know. People have said that Matthew is the youngest, but then she says Damien's the youngest? What the fuck? I just don't know, guys. I just don't know. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Thank you, bye, brothers. Oh. Click it. That's it. No, open. The music's still playing in the background for Seduce Me, I just realized. Come on. Fucking open! Oh my god. Oh my god, open. Open before I hurt you. Ah! No! James, Eric, Sam, Matthew, Damien. Damien's the youngest of 5 brothers. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Alrighty. Sure. Fine. That works. Okay. Now that that mystery is finally solved, we can move on with the game with a peaceful ending. I don't know. The youngest. Diana giggled in reply before letting go of my face and stepping back.
Really? The bastard's son with you?
Hey. No. I nodded once again, but this time it was partly my own decision. Where did pretty come from? To reply. Diana let out a sound that mimicked a cat's purr before stepping away from me.
Alright then. Well, if it's the youngest son you're infatuated with...
Diana chugged before kissing my nose, where I felt a shot of energy zap out of my body, almost making me dizzy and recoil. Diana then turned to my desk and sat on the wood, crossing her legs.
You can go now.
So she doesn't care?
No class for the rest of the week.
Okay, so Damien's real different. How am I supposed to get home? My two friends left me here thanks to you.
Oh, were they your ride? My apologies. Let me help then.
Diana then lifted her hand and snapped her fingers. I suddenly felt the floor sink from underneath me, forcing me to look down. A purple pentagram surrounded my feet, pulling me into the ground. Whoa! Wowza! And I'm ending it here. I'll see you guys next time.